All right, we're back. We're back. Okay, so this incident that happened last week out here in front of my very own house has got a whole lot of people very, very upset. And so we want to read. It has hit the front page of the newspaper, and I have a little bit of personal firsthand information on this story, so I can kind of give some context to anything that we need because we've been dealing with this for a while. All right. A pew pew of family dogs stirs anger. Angry Jenkins residents converged on Jenkins City Hall Monday night to voice safety concerns sparked by the October 31st unaliving of a dog in Rocky Hollow. While a formal city council meeting was postponed because not enough council members were present for a meeting, Mayor Todd DePriest gave the 15-person group a chance to speak about the incident. Most attendees felt that the Pew Pew deserved more scrutiny than it was getting from the city, and that it pointed to a need for greater police intervention when neighborhoods become unsafe. The dog's owner, Ashley Elswick Gibbs, said in a written statement to the council that she arrived at her home driveway with her children after school on October 31st. Okay. This was on Halloween, and it happened when she went to the bottom of the hill to pick up her kids from school off the bus. Well, our neighbor, anybody who has watched any of our previous videos, Johnny, who is one of our neighbors, his children also go to this school. So his kids are never picked up. So Ashley, out of the kindness of her heart, usually picks up his kids at the bottom of the hill also, and she'll bring them up with her in her vehicle, or her mother does in the side by side. So this particular day, she didn't just pick up her kids, she also picked up Johnny's kids, okay, and brought them home. While they were all still in their vehicle, the automatic gate to her property opened, and the family's female husky ran out after a chicken that was owned by her neighbor, Johnny Tennell. Now, these chickens have been free roaming this entire neighborhood for a year. I've lived here for a year, and they've been roaming out here for a whole year. Tennell pew-pewed the dog multiple times, 3 times, according to Gibbs, and it died later at a veterinarian's office. We have the same vet. So I called the vet as she was on her and her husband were on the way there, just to let them know that she was coming in, that what kind of wounds it was, and so they were ready when they got there. Gibbs is married to city council member Josh Gibbs. Ashley Gibbs maintained that Tennell's chicken was on a city-owned street next to her private driveway when her dog ran after it, which is true. When her dog chased the chicken, Tennell took a pew-pew from his vehicle and fired once at the dog, after which the dog began to run home. So Nyla turned around and started running back up the road. And 2 more pew-pews were fired which Gibbs states were towards her vehicle with her and her kids in it. Gibbs provided documents that pointed to 2 potential violations, including a prohibition against keeping livestock within city limits and wanton endangerment, which creates risk of death or serious injury to another person, like shooting towards a vehicle, an occupied vehicle. Police Chief Jim Stevens, who presented for part of the meeting, or who was present for part of the meeting, was the responding officer at the scene on October 31st. He's also really good friends with Johnny. There have been many reports made over the past year that I've lived here, and people are just scared to make any reports because, one, they don't take them seriously, they don't do anything, and you're afraid of retaliation a lot of times. His police report states that Tennell told him that he was working on his vehicle in his driveway when the Gibbs dog came onto his property and unalived a rooster. Well, this isn't exactly true. When I left to go get my children that day from school, he was under his hood here on this city street, which is where the incident happened. It's not his property, but he just keeps he just keeps claiming property. He's got half of my property claimed. And there's nothing you can do about it because it's all civil. It's all civil cases. You have to take it to a civil court. Well, who's got money to go hire a lawyer to do all this stuff? His police report states that Tennell told him that he was working on his vehicle in his driveway when the Gibbs dog came onto his property. Tennell also stated that the dog had acted in an aggressive manner towards himself and his daughter. Well, his daughter was in the car with Ashley. She had just picked her up from school. According to Kentucky law, a person may unalive a dog that is seen attacking a person or pursuing livestock on their property. Tennell also reported pew-pewing the dog with a 9mm, and that the dog then left, heading up his driveway to the Gibbs home, which it's not his driveway, it's a city street. At the meeting, Stevens defended his decision not to arrest Tennell for animal cruelty due to Tennell's account and because Ashley Gibbs told him at the scene that the dog had been pew-pewed on Tennell's property. He added that Gibbs's statement was recorded on a police body cam, which she was very traumatized at the time. One citizen said that Gibbs was distraught at the time and should have been interviewed further. A lot of times we'll say driveway just, because that's where he parks his vehicle. But we all know it's a city street. There was also a request for the body cam footage to be made public, so we're looking forward to that. While Stevens arrested Tennell at the scene on a bench warrant unrelated to the dog pew-pew, he said he was advised by Letcher County Attorney Jamie Hatton, we find Jamie's name and all this stuff, that an animal cruelty charge was not appropriate because the dog was on his property, but it wasn't. And he felt threatened, which is a bunch of BS. At the Monday night meeting, Stevens told the gathered citizens that he confirmed with both Hatton and the Commonwealth Attorney Matt Butler that he had taken the correct action because, according to both Tennell and Gibbs, the dog was on Tennell's property. I mean, even if she did make a misstatement when she was very traumatized and trying to get her dog to the vet, we all know it's a city street. So you can't say, well, she told me it was his property, but it's a city street. So you can't go by a slip of the tongue. One citizen said that Gibbs's statement about the location of the dog when it was pew-pewed was taken immediately after she witnessed a traumatic event with her children there, suggesting that Gibbs should have been given the chance to make a more detailed statement. And then let's go down here to the rest of it. One of several issues that people felt remained unresolved was the direction that the pew-pew was fired when the dog had turned back towards the Gibbs property. In her written statement, Gibbs maintains Tennell pew-pewed in the direction of her car. Jenkins Independent Schools Police Chief Alicia Congleton, who we all love. Alicia works at all of our kids' school, and we love Alicia. When you pew pew a gun, a thing in the direction of people, it's wanton endangerment. Congleton argued that if this detail had been communicated to the prosecutors, they would have viewed the incident as probable cause for charges. But remember, Jim Stevens and Johnny are big buddies, so it's going to automatically be told in favor for Johnny. Documents Gibbs presented at the meeting included a veterinarian's report citing multiple wounds to the dog and Johnny Tennell's criminal record. She also presented an open letter signed by 23 people stating that complaints had been made to the city in the past about Tennell's own dogs roaming free and causing safety concerns. Stevens said that 2 of Tennell's dogs had been reported in the past, were dealt with, and picked up by the dog warden. Well, there have been a whole lot more than just 2 dogs, because they've got 3. 2 of them are female, and they keep getting pregnant every heat cycle. So the whole neighborhood has to deal with 8 to 12 puppies every heat. Let's see. Another Rocky Hollow resident said that 3 dogs owned by Tennell continue to run loose in the area, including 2 that are pregnant. The concerns expressed at the meeting expanded beyond the Pew Pew incident to general findings of vulnerability in the city. One citizen from a different neighborhood of Jenkins said that she has hesitated to call the police at times about things that are going on. I fear retaliation from certain people, the citizen said. Mayor DePriest said that at the rescheduled city council meeting, he anticipated that the council will move to ask county government to take another look at the case. And so that's just a little short one that I wanted to make sure that I get out there. Hi, Miss Mary. Hi, Janice, Tanya. It's been very traumatic. I know it's a dog, but this poor animal was their family pet, and she had her since she was 1 day old, and she was 6 months pregnant, bottle feeding it. And so she bottle fed that dog, and that dog looked over her babies as they were born and as they were little. And so she was a very beloved member of their family. And this happened right in front of all the children. So 4 kids witnessed this event. And it's just been awful. This whole week has been awful. Trying to come to terms with it and just dealing with the loss. But I wanted to bring that Monday at the city council meeting. I'm going to go and I'm going to record it. And we're going to just keep tabs on this situation and see how it turns out. But I love Ashley. I love her husband, Josh, and we loved her dog. And so we wanted to make sure that we read that story to y'all. Okay. Well, we will see you all later. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Thank you. Bye.